It's the Gauntlet. Let's go.
If you smell what the Gauntlet is cooking.
What's up, everybody at home on a Saturday night? I am your host with the most, Philly Jim, host of the Gauntlet on Sideline Sports Network, sponsored by Philly Fades. Trying to get that Tinder sponsorship because I don't know what y'all been saying about me, how you've been speaking about my name, but just know that I'm rising it up on Tinder. I need that Tinder sponsorship. Give it to me right now. Give it to me right now. Let's get the show started. We got a lot of topics to get into. We got to talk about the Kelly Green Eagles jerseys coming back. I'm hyped about it. Got to talk about the new overtime rules with the NFL, Richard Sherman Player of the Week, all that stuff, sports morons. We got to get the crew in here. Welcome to the Four Horsemen. Let's welcome in Tyler Ingram. Let's welcome in Jamal.
What up?
Oh,
and Dominic. And I gotta get a drum roll for this, because we got the man of the hour, the king from Connecticut, Mr. Will Vogel in the building. Let's go! Let's
go! What's up, Will?
What's up, bro?
You know what the best thing about our whole intro is? Is that picture of Tyler when our four pictures pop up and he's like,
yeah.
Every time, I laugh till I'm in tears.
By the way, my mom, Brenda Weaver, she is watching the show. It is her birthday today, so shout out to my mom. I love you.
Shout out, Brenda. We love you. We love you.
Happy
birthday,
Mom.
baby.
Brenda.
I can't get my mom to watch.
Shout
You must be a better son than me, Tyler.
Brenda Weaver. Happy 25th birthday. Enjoy your day.
There you go. There you go.
Absolutely, guys. So, how are we feeling about everything that's been going on in the world of sports this week? Because I got some things to get off of my chest. I don't know about you guys, but I got some things to get off of my chest tonight. Sports morons of the week. Number one, Mr. Antonio Brown. What are you smoking, my guy? You said, I'm not going to get ankle surgery because I want teams to commit to signing me. First of all, you think that's going to affect them wanting you not getting the surgery that's going to help your situation? Second of all, he went on to say that not only is he going to refuse to get the surgery, he doesn't understand why his value is not as high as it has been. Are you insane? Are you smoking something, bro? Like, all the stuff that you've done, and you're saying that you don't understand why these teams don't want you. Antonio Brown,
Tyler Ingram, are you kidding me clip when I need it?
Yeah.
Right.
That could actually, we could rename the whole
Antonio
segment
Brown,
that when we get on TV.
He's got to be in the conversation. Also,
if they really won't let us say moron.
Ron Cowherd ranked the quarterbacks of the NFC East. Carson Wentz was ranked as the number one quarterback of the NFC East. Colin, are you smoking something, my guy? Please tell me if you are.
Now I understand your thumbnail.
Please tell me if you are.
He's a Carson Wentz
guy. Because I'm
guy.
old enough to remember Carson Wentz losing his starting job to Jalen Hurts. Now he's on his third team in the last 3 seasons. And you're also going to put him above Dak Prescott on top of that and Jalen Hurts? You're smoking something. Carson Wentz is not the best quarterback in this division. In fact, he might be the worst. He might actually be the worst. It's between him and Daniel Jones. I think it's a toss-up. I don't know which one I would take, but it's a toss-up.
I'd take Wentz over.
I'm going to have Wentz over. I'm going to put Wentz.
Danny Pennies.
But to your point, James, let me tell you something, dude. This is a long history of – so I didn't even really start tuning into Colin Cowherd like that until about 2 years ago. Always just dismissed him because he had these egregious takes that were even worse than Skip Bayless. I remember.
Whoa. Hey, whoa.
Yes.
Sure?
Look, listen. I'll give you an example. I think this was prior to the 2016 season, and every single year he does his he does his preseason predictions. Who's going to win what division? This man had the Indianapolis Colts winning the AFC South at 10-6 with no Andrew Luck and no defense. I was like, what in the hell? How the hell do you have them winning that division?
Yeah,
without either of those two.
Crazy.
So,
I mean, he's got some bold takes, but he's kind of like me. Like, he's got some bold takes, and some of them make him look like an absolute idiot. But other ones, he comes back. You've seen him do the Colin right, Colin wrong. Me and him have been lockstep about Baker Mayfield since he got drafted.
So I got a sports moron as well. I do keep hearing, like, I don't know if someone's got their screen open, but I think I keep hearing our show come back through the feed. But anyways, my sports moron is Jose Alvarado's agent. He just signed a 4-year extension with the Pelicans, and it was a 4-year deal for $6.5 million, 3.4 guaranteed over 2 years. That is weak, man. That is so weak. He really showed what he was undrafted in the draft, and I talked to Mark Balfe about it, and he even agrees. Like, they're really fortunate that he agreed to that, because he could have easily made double that. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, whiffed on that agent really whiffed on both him and Jose's situation.
I got a sports moron. I got a sports moron as well. Senegal soccer fans, what the hell? As Mo Salah was taking a PK, if this went in, I'm pretty sure Egypt would be in the World Cup. As he's lining up to take the penalty kick, they are glaring laser pointers in his face, and he misses it.
Bro, you gotta that for real.
World Cup goal,
bro. You gotta be ready for that situation.
This guy makes it, his team goes in. This guy misses
no,
it,
that's
his
foul.
team doesn't make
it's
it.
one thing to do it at a concert
by putting laser pointers in his face. And then I just read Egypt wants to replay the game. I don't blame them.
Laser pointer gate
just came out for the World Cup. Replay that game. It's not fair.
Wow, I didn't see any of this. This is all news to me.
I didn't know that either. Will just told me earlier.
I'm like,
and I was like, "Ooh, that's a good one."
That actually is pretty.
I didn't even know
straight, right?
I didn't even know Egypt had a soccer team, bro.
You know what? A lot of these countries,
it's a country. They do.
Yeah, a lot of these countries ain't been in so long that you forget that they even have teams. Canada just made their second one in 36 years.
Well, like some of the smaller countries that are really like prolific and have made deep.
But the thing is,
like
even
Ghana and stuff,
even in Egypt, you got to realize outside of the United States and Canada, every other country in the world, soccer is the biggest sport.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody's got
sport in the entire world.
A national soccer team. Everybody.
Get Will Smith to smack those fans that shot the lasers.
You want me to go, Jay? You want to go?
No. I'll only do mine in a couple of sentences, man. I ain't gonna say no names, but this sports moron willingly sat out on his team, lost money for it, and is now trying to recoup it all back. Namely, $12 million. I'm gonna let y'all guess as to who this fool is. He currently is in New York City.
20 million.
Oh, was it 20?
Yeah.
Wow. And now you see why he's my sports moron. I ain't gonna say no names. I'm gonna let y'all figure it out. Go ahead, Dom.
My sports moron is USA Today writer Andrew Cato. This is a quote. This is the title of his article. Detroit Lions shouldn't let Malik Willis slip away. Does anyone even want to trade up to the number 2 pick anyways? And it's crazy because I'm gonna laugh so hard if it happens. Like Mel Kiper, moron. Todd McShay, slightly less of a moron. Even both of them say there's not worth a quarterback taking in the first round, period. Let alone it too.
Something like of all the draft analysts, the only one that I really, really respect is Daniel Jeremiah. Shout out Daniel Jeremiah. That's my
agree with that. I agree with that. I like Daniel.
Bro.
I like Daniel Jeremiah's.
That's my man.
And the way the guy tried to support it, he's like, oh, they've got a good O line.
There's one other one I like.
He doesn't have to contribute right away. That's why you don't take a quarterback right now, because you don't need one, and it's a terrible. I would literally rather have anyone other than a quarterback at that pick. I will take a tackle that we don't even need and make him play guard. I would take Evan Neal and put him at guard.
Imagine if you guys had Sewell and Neal as your two tackles, bro. That would be sick.
We still got Taylor Decker. Never should.
That would be sick. You guys still have Big V or not?
Yeah, he's fine. Like he's the weakest link on that line, but everyone else has either made a Pro Bowl or should have. Or
Big V was the Eagles' starting left tackle the year we won the Super Bowl because Jason Peters
guard / tackle. Then we overpaid him.
You guys paid him way too much. But
and then didn't even put him at tackle.
Last thing, unless you guys have any more sports morons, I'm gonna be real quick. Doc Rivers, seriously, at the press conference, he said that James Harden was the reason why we lost. When the reporter asked him, "Well, the bench sucked tonight. They got outscored like 35-5 or something. It was terrible." And then he was just like, "Oh, well, it was James Harden's fault we lost." Well, maybe if your bench rotations weren't complete garbage, and you actually knew how to coach the game of basketball, maybe we wouldn't be in this situation right now. But let's blame James Harden. And
he literally said that.
That's
he did.
literally what he said. That's literally
did Harden have a bad game or a crucial turnover?
He didn't have that bad of a game. It was not James Harden's fault we lost.
He did. It was not his fault.
You know what, James? It was when you guys beat us this week. How did you not know that?
But James, you know what? To be fair,
because Dom was in a love triangle this week. What do you
mean? We didn't beat Philly this week, did we?
The same problems he had with the Clippers has followed him to Philly. It's the same exact problems they had.
It is. But you know what, James? But James, dude, you cannot count on Doc Rivers to say something sensible in a press conference. He's the same man who said, "If you want me to yank Simmons from the game at this point in juncture, you don't know basketball." The same player proceeded to prove him wrong.
That's another good point, because even when James Harden has had bad games, like why are you doing this to James Harden? But when Ben Simmons used to have bad games, like you used to say, "Oh, he does this, he makes the team better." Like it's very hypocritical by Doc Rivers. But we don't got time to like stay on sports moron. So we're actually going to go to our next topic, guys. So just real quick, the Eagles are bringing back some of the best jerseys in the league. Yes. The Kelly Green jerseys, the Randall Cunningham era edition is going to be added as alternate jersey in 2023. I am so hyped and excited about this. This is one of the best jerseys in NFL history. And I can't even venture to say that when it's officially being like worn again regularly, then we got the best jerseys in the NFL right now, because we don't got to worry about the powder blues, the Oilers. It's between us and the Chargers powder blues. Which one you want? I'm taking Kelly Green all day.
Every day.
No, not the Chargers. It's between y'all and
that's a spot on
Oilers.
Comparison. That's a spot on comparison.
So we got a comment from Eric. He said yes. So Eric's really stoked about the Kelly Green jerseys.
The Kelly Greens,
those are sick.
And then he also said on the last segment, "Let Will finish Dom DeRubis." So,
what were you gonna say?
I don't even remember.
Shut my mouth.
But you know, but I'm glad that the Eagles are bringing the Kelly Greens back. I have said that I know that you all won a Super Bowl with the forest
midnight
greens.
Green.
Yeah, the midnight greens, but you gotta bring the Kelly, because when I see the Kelly Greens, I think of, like the Kelly Greens, that's Reggie White, that's the late Jerome Brown, that's Randall Cunningham, that's the body bag game, that's the fog bowl game, a game that they lost, but Cunningham threw for 400 yards with 15 yards.
He had his talents wasted by a coach that, with Buddy Ryan, he was a defensive coach. Right. You saw what he did with Minnesota, where he tore it up. If he had a real offensive, let's say that Randall would have been coached by Andy Reid instead of Buddy Ryan, he would have had a way better career, and I actually think he would have probably won a couple rings.
Yeah, agreed. But definitely shout out to y'all, man, for bringing out the hand grenade, the Kelly Green hand grenade. See, there you go. Yeah, go ahead, Dom.
Yeah, if those Eagles jerseys, if those aren't the best jerseys of all time, it's Houston's. But I'm gonna give the nod to the Eagles because I didn't like as much. I love those Kelly Greens, obviously, but the fact that they changed the helmet too, like that eagle. The eagle on your helmet now looks like an angry chicken. So the combination of those Kelly Greens with the helmet with the wings, that might be a better combination than Houston's. And Houston's helmets are sweet too, because that white helmets are sweet.
Yeah, but we don't gotta worry about the Oilers anymore. It's either us or the Chargers. So I think our jerseys are better than the Chargers.
I got
my personal opinion.
They are, but the Chargers pretty much folded away the alternates because they have those ones that they wear now, and they don't, because they went back to that blue, but it's like a little bit darker blue, and the yellow
that darker blue is the alternate.
Is more gold. Oh, is it?
So
the powder blues are primary.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, they still wear the navy blue one. It is.
Okay, let's just end this debate real quick. Raise your hand if you think the Eagles are better than the Chargers powder blue.
Oh, all day long.
Okay,
close,
it's
but yes.
All right, well, we pretty much settled that, guys. So let's actually get to our player of the week, Mr. Richard Sherman, who in 7 years was Seattle 5 All-Pros. He was one of the best corners in the league. When you looked at the Seattle Seahawks that won the Super Bowl in 2013, it was on the cuffs of that great defense, the Legion of Boom secondary. You had Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas on the back end, and you had Richard Sherman out there shutting stuff down. He was dominant in that scheme. Bobby Wagner was there. They had a great pass rush as well. Michael Bennett. That whole defense was so good. And Richard
was for a year or two.
And Richard was a huge part of that. And we all know the biggest play that we probably saw him made was in the NFC Championship in 2014, I believe, where he tipped the ball that was coming to Michael Crabtree. It got intercepted in the end zone to seal the game away.
You got it?
Yeah, run the clip.
Yeah, I'm about to run the clip.
Run the clip.
Dude, that was the funniest thing.
Oh, but while we're here, guys, I want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Philly Fades. Shout out to Silver the Barber, one of the best barbers in Philly, for holding it down. If you guys ever need a real cut, I recommend that you guys go check him out. All right.
He's got an Instagram too.
That and Bart Scott's Can't Wait are two of my all-time favorites.
Oh, Richard Sherman's is so much better, though, Will.
Yeah.
Richard Sherman's is because it's the way he said it.
Ice Up Son is better than Bart Scott,
Ice Up Son is great, too.
I think Richard
I
Sherman.
had an Ice Up Son shirt, ironically. I don't know where it went, though.
Richard Sherman. This one's so awesome.
Oh, it is.
I did not own the rights to this clip. Everything belongs to the NFL, just for copyright purposes.
Kaepernick ends on Crabtree. Broken up.
Like, if he's not there, game's over.
Now, see, the crazy part about that is after he tips the ball, as he's falling to the ground, he's wagging his finger in the air. I thought that was so fly, dude.
I think that. Hold on. Let me run this back.
I was gonna say, does it got the? I mean, I like seeing the play, but I want to see him lose his ever-loving mind.
This is what I wanted to show you guys. So this part right here, he walks up to him, he slaps him on the ass. He's not talking to him right there. He's not like talking trash to him. He pretty much said like it was a hell of a game. It was a hell of a game. He was trying to give him that respect, and Crabtree was low-key disrespecting him. So I think that's really what set him off when he went to this interview here, which I'm going to play now.
Send you down to the field, and Aaron Andrews.
Joe, thank you so much. Richard, let me ask you the final play. Take
me
through it.
Well, I'm the best corner in the game. When you try me with a sorry receiver like Crabtree, that's the result you're going to get. Don't you ever talk about me.
Who was talking about you?
Hold on. I got to run it back. I want to show y'all something.
He clearly was talking about.
So right here, look at her face. She is like, I do not know what is going on right now. She's like
terrified, bro.
She's
terrified. Have been her interviewing him anyways.
Richard Sherman's going off, and she's like, Richard, like, I did not even say anything about you, bro. Like, what are you talking about? Like, who said something about you?
Just like, who?
Crabtree, don't you open your mouth about the best. Or I'm going to set it for you real quick.
LOB.
Right,
you know what I always
that was.
Don't you open up your mouth.
Forget about Crabtree. Sherman he went to
Don't
Stanford.
you ever open your mouth about the best, or I'm gonna shut it for you real quick.
That was about as close to a 1988 SummerSlam WWE promo that you could get as far as the NFL.
But a lot more understandable than anything the Ultimate Warrior ever said. But Tyler, what do you got to say about Richard Sherman?
So I'm going to talk about the tweet that he sent after he was selected. Sherman's tweet after being selected in the 5th round. Nothing is going to change. I was drafted 154th, 5th round, 23rd pick. Nothing's going to change that. 5 rounds of teams just pass. I know every single one of them. I know every defensive back in this draft. I know everyone who went ahead of me. So I think that's something to note, just because how much of a steal he was in this draft. I mean, to come out at the end of the 5th round and to be a 3-time All-Pro on the
5-time All-Pro, 3-time first team.
Yeah, right. 5-time All-Pro. Yeah, those 2 second teams as well, for sure. But nonetheless, a 5th round pick,
I just thought he went too low. Man. I thought he was a stud at Stanford, and he was coached by Jim Harbaugh at that. So, yeah, they really whiffed on him, in my opinion.
Well, we'll get there.
Oh, the other thing I want to point about Richard Sherman is this guy is one of the most intelligent guys just as a person. He graduated at Stanford at the top of his class.
You have to be smart.
And the coolest thing about Richard Sherman is, like, where he comes from in Compton, that is like one of the worst places to come up from. And then he came up and became one of the best corners in the league. And he really changed his whole life and his whole situation around for his family, and showed them that if you come from somewhere like that, there's more for you out there. So that's just something that really stands out to me about Richard Sherman. His intelligence, his work ethic, and the fact that, he came from a tough situation in life. And then he just really tried to make the most out of it in the NFL.
Yeah,
right. And I really love the fact that. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Tyler.
All I was gonna say is he's a really religious guy too. If you follow him on like Twitter, he says a lot of biblical scripture, and he goes to church every Sunday, and he goes on Wednesdays. Like, he's a really religious guy too. I think a lot of people get the misinterpretation of Richard Sherman a lot. I think a lot of people think. Yeah, that's how I feel like, because I feel like he's the type of guy that you still want on your football team. He's vocal. He's a good team leader. He's a chemistry guy. He kind of can be a glue guy for the entire team. I mean, with that Seahawks defense, and there was a lot of good players on there, Richard Sherman was kind of the glue of that defense.
He was like the captain, exactly.
Sorta. Like Cam Chancellor.
They had a lot of great players on that defense, man.
But I'm saying vocal leader, it's definitely Richard Sherman.
Vocally? Yeah, probably. I mean, he walked up to Tom Brady, told him, "You mad, bro?" Like, that was like one of the first Richard Sherman moments I remember. Like, if you're talking to Tom Brady like that, that means like you're really bold if you feel that way. But yeah, guys, let's actually go ahead and let's move on to our next subject. I'm actually gonna play another clip for you guys because at the NFL coaches meeting, there's a meeting every year where they go to discuss stuff. That's where they announce the new overtime rules. So what really stood out to me with the new overtime rules, and for anybody that doesn't know what they are, or you guys missed the news or anything, so this is only for the postseason, which I find kind of weird, because if you're gonna introduce a new rule, wouldn't you want to try it out first, see how it goes in the regular season, and then you kind of know where you're going once the playoffs hit? But they're just doing it for the playoffs. Both teams actually get a possession, so it's not just going to be sudden death, go down the field and score. Honestly, I really didn't see anything that was wrong with the overtime rules last year, or the ones that have been in place. I think this was a sympathy move by the NFL, plain and simple. I feel like everyone in America wanted the Chiefs to lose. They wanted Mahomes to lose. They wanted, everyone hates Jackson Mahomes and Patrick Mahomes' wife, TikTok, all that kind of stuff. Everyone wanted them to lose, and Bills were America's sweetheart when they didn't get a chance to get the ball in that great game that was played in the divisional round. I feel like this became like a huge deal to everyone all of a sudden. But, before that, there wasn't much talk about it. It was just like, oh, well, if you lose the coin toss, it sucks. But you got to move on. But
wait.
I think it was – I really don't agree with it. And if they are going to change it, I feel like they should be doing it in the regular season.
Wait.
Go ahead, Don.
The rules match up now, though, don't they? They just changed the postseason rule to match the regular season rule. Now both teams get a possession. It's still not quite the same because in the regular season, it's if you go If you go and score a touchdown, it's over.
It's still over with.
It's still over. That's what I'm saying. Like, why would they not do it in the regular season? But you're going to do it in the playoffs? I don't agree with that.
So it's not the same.
Yeah,
No.
it's
Well,
not
I mean,
the same.
hockey does it the same way because they don't want a bunch of ties, but ties don't happen like that in
the NFL. Yeah,
I mean, my thing about it is if you're trying to appease the Bills, like that's kind of bogue because hey, Bills, you had the number one defense. You probably should have been able to stop whoever. You have the number one defense,
especially with 13 seconds on the clock. Like they should not have lost this game.
Before you continue, the Bills had the number one defense, but let this be a lesson to people out there. You could have on paper statistically the number one defense, but until you stop the consistently good teams and you keep folding against these contenders as far as the defense, your defense will not be taken seriously.
Right.
You can say number one defense all you want to.
And if you think about it, they have the number one defense chiefly because 2 games against Miami, 2 games against the Jets, 2 games against the Patriots.
I don't care what defense they have. You're not stopping Patrick Mahomes. They couldn't even stop him in 13 seconds. They should have been able to stop him, and they couldn't.
But they should have, but that doesn't mean Mahomes is unstoppable because you know who did stop Mahomes? The Bucks in the Super Bowl.
Well, hold
on. You can't do what they did?
Go ahead, Tyler.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Guys, this is hard to get out tonight. If you watch the playoffs last year, the Bengals stopped them. The Chiefs didn't score in the playoffs right away in the AFC Championship. The Bengals won that game. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, they're not impossible to stop. And you know what? I really wish that people would just quit this, man. They have got to start holding defenses more accountable. Stop putting so much blame on the quarterback or on this or on that. These defenses cannot continue to get let off the hook. You mean to tell me they failed to do their job in 13 seconds, and 13 seconds forced you to modify a whole rule?
I think it's ridiculous.
I wish the NFL was this quick to respond with rule changes when the Lions get screwed.
So, Will, what are your thoughts on the rules? Do you think they're good, or do you think that they should have left them the same?
I like the rules personally. It's kind of cool because then each team gets a chance. And I don't like where touchdown, you win the game. Like
sudden death.
It keeps fans in your seats. But yeah, I think it's a good rule change, and I think it was about time to do it.
You don't want to go to overtime, win the game in regulation.
Exactly. That part. Because any coach will tell you we never should have been put in this position in the first place.
And
especially if you're facing a mediocre team.
And I've been saying this for years with my own team. You don't want to lose a close game on a questionable call. Beat the team by more points.
Didn't the Chiefs go all the way across field in 13 seconds?
Yeah, and then Buckner kicked the field goal to tie. And in the Dom's point, and anyone who's even played the sport, any sport like this, will tell you, their coach will tell you, never leave the game in the hands of the refs.
Exactly. I agree.
So,
somebody want to say something about a sponsor?
Tyler?
We're about to that point.
Yeah. So we are sponsored by the Score No Score app. That's an app that is a sponsor of Sideline Sports. You can actually bet on it. You get an allotted amount of coins, and you can bet on each possession of scoring. It's for baseball and for football. So with baseball coming up and baseball season starting in a little over a week, right? Maybe less than a week now.
Opening week, baby.
April 7th.
But regardless, in about a week, you can download that app and get on there and start betting.
You can bet on how many runs the Phillies are going to score with this new lineup, where our offense is going to be lighting it up. Just saying. But anyway, we got some other stuff to talk about, also pertaining to the coaches meeting. After all, so this offseason, we actually saw Brian Flores decide that he's going to file for a lawsuit against the NFL because of there's some really messed up practices going on right now, and then of all the coaches to reach out and try to help him out, who else was it but Mike Tomlin? And Mike Tomlin had some interesting comments that I'm actually going to play for you guys as well. And then we're going to react to this clip right here.
There's nothing like finding the perfect song for your video. For a limited time only, subscribe.
In continual conversation since his legal action started. I wanted to support him, as a member of the football coaching fraternity, and really just informal discussions, and really the discussion itself was kind of born out of those visits, and it really moved rather quickly, to be quite honest with you. We didn't breach the subject until all the head jobs were filled. I haven't been in any discussions, and no, I don't have a level of confidence that would lead me to believe that things are going to be better. I'm more of a show me guy as opposed to a guy that sits around and talks about things. The hiring itself, I think that we've pecked around the entire subject, and we've done a lot of beneficial things, but we got to land the plane. We got to hire capable candidates. I feel that already in a short period of time in the early stages of schematic and so forth. But, that's not the only space he's going to help us. His resume and what he's experienced just brings a wealth of knowledge, and I'm excited about drawing from that. We were friendly. We knew each other, but I wouldn't describe our relationship as intimate. We hadn't had a lot of opportunity to spend time together, and so there was professional acknowledgement and respect, and I really enjoyed getting to know him and working alongside of him. It's been better than you could have expected. He's all in. He's bright. He's insightful.
So those were definitely some interesting comments from Mike Tomlin. My biggest takeaways from what he said was when he was talking about how he didn't want to leave. When he didn't want to leave Brian Flores on an island, that's pretty much what he said. Because with this whole situation going on, a lot of NFL teams feel like, oh, well, we don't want to get our hands dirty, and, we don't want the NFL to look down on us because we're rocking with Brian Flores. But Mike Tomlin said, you know what? We don't really care about that.
Right.
Brian Flores is a great coach, and he's a coach that the Miami Dolphins should have kept. And I think we're going to see that when the season comes around that, this guy, Mike McDaniel from the 49ers, yeah, he's come from the 49ers offense, and he's a young guy that, the NFL is going in a direction where everyone wants these young coaches, these young offensive coaches. But Brian Flores, he should be a head coach in the NFL. The whole situation that happened with the Giants was completely disrespectful. And I think that's kind of why Tomlin was saying how, things don't look like they're going in the right direction. And he's like, you can say you're doing stuff all you want, but until we actually see the progress, then I have no reason to take you seriously. That's pretty much what he said. And I think he's absolutely right with that. And the fact that the Steelers organization and Mike Tomlin are backing Brian Flores during this whole situation, I think it really just speaks volumes to the fact that they don't care. They don't care about what the NFL thinks. They care about what they believe is right. And at the end of the day, you got to respect that.
That's great.
Yeah,
I'm well, so I'm gonna say something real quick, and I hope I'm making sense because what I'm about to say is actually bigger than the sport. I'm really glad that Mike Tomlin, came about and they're backing him up. And then even in the beginning, when Hugh Jackson came in and said that he was going to be there for Brian Flores, and I really think that little by little, it might take little by little, but I think more and more people will start to back Brian Flores. And we're talking about a culture here, y'all, because no matter how much they may amend the Rooney rules, it is still run by these owners who are of the old Dom, you're going to feel exactly what I'm talking about.
Hold on just a second, Jay. Hold on just a second. If any of you guys has your phone on, if you don't mind just putting it on mute for me while Jay's talking.
Is that me?
We're good. We good?
All right, go ahead, Jay.
All right. But yeah, and Doms, you know what I'm talking about. Nothing is going to change until the old generation goes away. Until these teams start getting passed down to younger, more
progressive.
But until that old regime goes away, I hate to say it, but there's going to be little to no change. These people have got to go because I believe their hiring practices are ruining the sport and holding people back. They could sit there and they could say, oh, we're going to take this from you or give you this and give you that. At the end of the day, these are billion-dollar franchises, and the owners see it as, you can't tell me how to run my team. That's the ugly truth, and it sucks to say. And we all wish it wasn't like that. So the only answer is these guys have got to go away. Someone's got to pull a Donald Sterling level event in order for the league to come down and say, you can't be here anymore. But to wrap it up, how Mike Tomlin's coming in and backing up Brian Flores is great. He's saying, man, I'm here for you. Anything you need, I'm right here in solidarity. I think more and more people are going to come out and back up Brian Flores, especially in the wake of the whole debacle with the Giants and whatnot. But yeah, that's all I got on it. Go ahead, Dom.
The other one that came out right around the same time, either right before or right after Hugh Jackson came out in support, was former Lions defensive coordinator Terrell Austin. This man got scheduled so many Rooney Rule interviews, and he knew they weren't serious about doing it. Teams were just trying to fulfill their obligations. He canceled the last 2 or 3 that he had. And now that I think about it, I don't think necessarily that that Tomlin is in any jeopardy of getting fired, but I think perhaps sooner than later, he might be just wanting to walk away, and then he's just going to hand that job to Brian Flores, which would be good for everyone. The Steelers have always been a very progressive franchise. I mean, in my mind, throughout my life and beyond, the Steelers are pretty much just about, if not one of the 2 or best 3 well-run organizations, top to bottom, ownership, front office, drafting, free agency, all that. But yeah, happy for Brian Flores that he got a job. Ultimately, should he have got fired? Absolutely not. But Miami's owner is an idiot. He sided with the GM, who's an even bigger idiot, and now you see what you got. You got $80 million Tyreek Hill and no one to throw him the ball.
You gotta keep in mind the last time Miami was really, really good was when they had when they had Jimmy Johnson literally as their head coach. Very long time ago. So they pretty much have that in common with the Cowboys, and that's attributed to their lack of success as well. I also want to give a shout out to my homie Chris, who's a big supporter of the channel and the show, has been for years. He says that unfortunately that won't change a thing. Dan Snyder has gotten away with all these sexual harassment, messing with employees, all this kind of stuff. Yet the NFL is literally just now investigating him, and they're really not doing anything, and nothing's going to happen. He should have been banned from the league a long time ago. It just speaks to how the league is run now. It's terrible. It's going downhill. And these guys just really don't care about anything except for making money.
Dan Snyder is the worst owner in pro sports. Worse than the Fords.
What were you going to say, Will?
You know what? Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Will.
Go ahead, Will.
I agree 100% with all of what you guys said. I don't think Brian Flores should have been fired at all.
No way.
He won 8 of his last 9 games, and he deserved 100% to keep that coaching job in.
Right.
Again, I agree with the others. Congrats on a job. Wish you could have been a head coaching job, but really happy that Tomlin gave him a chance and said, hey, these teams are going to regret not giving you an interview or giving you the head coaching jobs. And teams are going to regret it in the long haul and say, man, that guy actually did good in his last season in Miami, and he shouldn't have been fired. So I think
there's no way he should have got fired.
I think he'll prove people wrong.
Definitely deserves another chance. Tyler, you got any thoughts on this?
Yeah. For one, I just want to talk about what a class act Mike Tomlin is. I mean,
sure.
I'm really impressed with him, reaching out to him being so vocal about this. Even like when I've been watching this NFL draft coming up, Mike Tomlin's taking all these guys out to eat. Like all these guys he's scouting. You see it on Twitter. Mike Tomlin takes out this guy. Mike Tomlin takes out this guy. Mike Tomlin takes out this guy. Like, I'll be honest,
spending a lot of money on food, man.
I'll be honest. I don't see my homie Matt LaFleur doing it. So I just got to say, what a class act, Mike Tomlin truly is, and I definitely understand why people want to be drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, and just to add on to, I think James said a minute ago,
Stephen Ross is an actual STD.
That's believable. That's believable, Grizzler. But just to add on to what James said, real quick.
Shout out to my boy Grizz.
The NFL continues to break moral code after moral code after moral code, racial issues, moral code, racial issues. But people have the nerve to say Rob Manfred is the worst in sports. Yeah. Just putting that out there. I think
they both suck, but I ain't gonna get into like who's.
It's hard. The worst, it's hard to say. It's hard to say who's the best.
I don't even think that.
Just being honest, man.
Honestly, if you're asking me, the best is Adam Silver, but
I got Silver.
I wouldn't even call him the best. I would call him the least terrible.
Yeah, that's what I would call it.
Thank you.
I think I was in a
just because in the NBA, you never have these issues coming up of players like speaking about certain issues. Like the NBA players, they wear different warm-up shirts for social issues, trying to bring more awareness to it. If that happened in the NFL, like all these racist like people would come out and say like, "Oh, you guys need to shut up and play." You never see that in the NBA, which is why I feel like the NBA is run better than the NFL.
NBA gives you a platform. NBA gives you a platform in which you're allowed
NFL
to speak.
doesn't.
And NFL doesn't.
It's just so much
Adam
money.
Silver's still a clown. They're all
and
clowns.
Look at it this way: the other, I don't know how many teams there were at the time, less than 30, but so let's say there was 28 teams at the time. In the mid 80s, the other 27 owners were able to keep Donald Trump out of the NFL owners box, but us as the voting public couldn't keep him out of the goddamn White House.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And if you really want to hate Donald Trump, let that be the reason, because he destroyed the USFL trying to get into the NFL owners box. And they were like, "No, dude, you're not welcome here."
You're not welcome, yeah.
True.
Even though there's people that's just as bad as Trump in the NFL. But I'm not gonna get into all that. Chris says, "Look, fellas, there's all types of shit in this world. You could. This is literally what my grandma used to say. She used to say, "Well, you can shine shit all you want. It's still gonna be shit at the end of the day." And that's pretty much what all these leagues are.
I don't know.
I love the sports. I'm not hating on the sports, but the leadership of these leagues is terrible. That's all I'm trying to say.
Since Snyder got brought up, forget about Donald Trump being president. Who's worse, Donald Trump or Dan Snyder?
Whew.
I'm saying pull the trigger. Like gun to your head. You had to pick one. I'm saying pull the trigger.
I don't even want to answer, man.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't like either of them.
Is there really a wrong answer to that?
Yeah, is there really a wrong answer?
I don't think there is.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, so that pretty much is going to wrap us up for all the NFL stuff that we have. So I hope everyone enjoyed the NFL conversation. Now it's time to get into some non-sports topics. We're about to get spicy with it tonight, man. We actually got some extra time. Usually we don't have it but 5 minutes to do this. We got 15 minutes to have some stuff.
Oh man,
talk about some stuff.
Are you gonna start? Are you gonna
get the Trump of the NFL? Oh my god.
Are you gonna start with the food blast one?
Okay, listen. While I'm pulling that up, I'm gonna pull up something before I get into what Tyler's talking about.
He's gonna put some nasty shit on the screen, y'all.
Real quick. I'm not responsible for anybody that throws up or gets sick from seeing this. So I just want to point that out.
I'm definitely blaming you because you picked it.
And then I just want to start while I'm pulling this up. I want to know, what is your guys' biggest pet peeve? It doesn't just have. It can be a sports related pet peeve. But yeah, it can be also a non-sports related pet peeve. So what you got? What's your biggest pet peeve, Tyler? Let's start with you. What's your biggest pet peeve in life?
Man, I hate all right, so my older brother passed away, rest in peace, all that. But like when I was a little kid and my mom, you're watching, Carrie, everyone who's watching, that's part of my family. I would not want to sit by my older brother Ryan at the dinner table because he always chewed with his mouth open. It would just piss me off so bad. Huge pet peeve of mine, man. He'd like slap his lips together and be like, can't do all that, bro. Nah. Sit me on the other side of the table. I don't want to be next to loud eaters. I don't like
it. One of my...
It's just me, bro. I am...
No, I understand.
I'm more mature when I'm eating than a lot of other people are.
One of mine that I...
Well, good thing you grew up white, because I'm pretty sure if you grew up as one of Jay's brothers, you do that about once, and then you get the food smacked out of your mouth, and that would probably be it. Is that accurate?
My pet peeve is also related to food, but in a different way, not just like eating. So the grocery store. The biggest reason I hate grocery shopping is because literally everyone in the store shopping no one looks where they're going. Like, I think one day I'm gonna do a prank video of like trying to take a charge on some of these people because people will literally walk right into you. Like, I'm just gonna square up. I'm just gonna go like this into someone's cart and like flop and fall down and be like, "Yeah, that's an offensive foul. That's a charge." Like, you guys never watch where you're going. Watch where you're going. Why are you on your phone while you're in the grocery store? And you have people walking behind you that are trying to get
Rodman out here in the paint. Rodman out here in the paint.
Like you're Rodman
taking the bump.
And you're not looking at people are behind you trying to shop, and you're walking all slow. I don't have time for this. I have other stuff I have to do.
If you're gonna do that, you can only do it on one condition. You got to bring someone with you in a referee uniform
with a whistle
to blow a whistle and call the charge.
Yes.
I've got two.
Oh, you jumped in front. It was a block.
That's a charge.
Go ahead, Will.
I've got two quick pet peeves. One's sports, one's not.
Okay.
The sports one is people who, for example, their kid goes to Alabama. Oh, I'm an Alabama fan. I always have been. Have you?
No,
really
you haven't.
Have you really?
If your kid goes there, that's okay.
If your kid goes there, it gives you a reason to root for him. But like saying that you've always been a diehard fan,
always,
always.
This is why I'm not a Michigan football fan.
The reason I'm a UConn fan and a Tar Heel fan is it's self-explanatory.
You're
I've
from there.
I want to know the second one. I want to know this non-sports one.
What's the second one though?
Yeah.
People who drive and leave their blinker on. For example, if you're going straight and their red blinkers on, you're like, dude, are you turning? Are you turning or no? And they don't shut it off.
I thought he was gonna.
You gotta shut it off, bro. What's up with that?
I swore Will was gonna say grown ass white men that listen to ICP. I thought that was gonna be his pet peeve. I swore, man.
Switching lanes without a signal, yeah, I hate that.
Goes off.
Because that's way more than a pet peeve.
Yeah, I was way
that's
off.
Almost like a cardinal sin.
Y'all had some pretty lighthearted shit. Like I can't even say I'm going way darker.
Oh no! If we had time for this whole thing, like, there's a lot of pet peeves I could get to, but I ain't gonna do it.
My pet peeve is lying when you don't have to. People that lie when they don't have to.
Yeah.
That goes beyond pet peeve. Like that just makes me look at you a lot more deeply in a negative light as a person, because it's like you lied and you didn't even have to. Like I spew truth from every orifice of my body. You don't like it? At least I didn't lie to you. Can't ever say I was dishonest. Mm-hmm. Sports pet peeve. The flailing at the 3-point line, trying to get those 3 shots. Like the pump fake and then the sticking your leg out and no.
Didn't they
player fans?
Didn't they get
that was easy for me.
Look at you, James Harden.
Player fans for sure. They're the worst. Player fans, fake ass fans. That
and players that play dirty but that don't play good defense.
Fake ass fans. I'm calling you
Grayson
all out.
Allen.
Don't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or fans that go to the home arena that they live in the hometown of and wear another jersey and they're like, yeah, I have connection. Like, I'm always
you mean
like
like
this
me when I go to
team.
that
I'm
Pistons
like,
Mavericks game?
you like, they're like, I'm like, you like the player on that team. You don't like the team, dummy.
You calling me a
Right.
dummy? I don't like the Mavericks. I love Spencer Dinwiddie though.
Oh wait, I'm guilty of that too.
You
I
can be
just realized.
you can be fans of
Good
players
job,
on
Will.
other teams.
Dude,
Just
you
pick
can
a
be
team.
fans.
You can.
Just
You
pick
can
a
be fans
team.
of players. There's
John.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with being
You
a
have
fan of the players.
sentimental value, sure.
Because I've been
I went to
following
school-
Dinwiddie
I went to school
since he was
with
in
TJ
college.
McCollum. I'll take it, but picking someone just on a random team and rooting for him, no, not for me.
My pet
Not for
peeves.
me.
I got a sports related and non-sports related. My non-sports related is being patronized. So you
I
know,
knew you were going
if
to say
we
that.
have a problem, and yeah, the Dom knows. Like if we have an issue, that's cool, but don't talk to me like I'm your 5-year-old child.
I hate those
That's
people
when it's fighting time.
who talk down to you. They're like,
Yes, exactly.
Oh, I hate that.
You know, my sports related one is, and
Sorry for the cursing.
Oh, you good?
It's all good, bro.
My sports related one. I'm gonna attack the fans here, but then when am I not attacking the fans? Is whenever you're having a debate with somebody, and what you said is correct. So the counterpunch, they don't say anything like back, like just related to kind of
Glossing over what you said.
Instead, they attack your fandom. So they demean your sports knowledge by attacking your team. Like, for example, someone can bring up a really great point.
That
and
never
they're
happens
like,
to me.
Ever. It's like if Jay makes a really good point and I say, well, the Texans are ass, so like nothing you say matters.
Right.
Pretty
If I had
much.
a penny for every time I heard you're a fan.
But this is how asinine it is because, okay, if that were the case, no one on Fox Sports or ESPN would have a job. No one would.
Someone says you're wrong when you know that the thing.
Actually, the worst one is when people you make a really good point and you're like smoking them in a debate, and then they like attack you for like on personal levels with like insults.
Yeah, personally or your fandom.
Or
your family or like whatever. Like
or
so
when
someone
brings up a point you made after you've made 200 points and they bring up one point that you made and just start attacking you that way. Because that pisses me off because I'll be thinking to myself, I'll be like, wow, this person who's saying this about me has made 40 terrible points and I've never brought anything up about
at that
them.
point I'm like,
And
okay,
I've never brought anything up about them, but they're gonna call me out.
Right.
Oh,
So at that point to me, it's like, oh, so you have nothing to say about the other 190.
That's when I'm not nice. That's when I'm not nice to people, to be honest. I'll just be like, you're a little ass kid, and you got a little ass mouth. I'm gonna slap it.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, bro.
Agreed, Tyler. Go ahead.
When people take credit for the shit you do.
Plagiarism, bro. We can't have that in here. Heck no.
Your professor do not ever steal assignments. Elaborate, Will.
Hashtag
For example, some
Quizlet
kid
University.
I went to middle school with. I'm not going to say his name. I don't like.
Say his name.
Really?
F that guy. I hope he's watching.
Blast him.
If he's
We're on
not,
national TV.
subscribe.
Blast him.
His name
Go ahead,
is
Will.
Timothy Globerman. I don't like that.
Globerman, bro. His last name tells you how much of a loser he is. No offense.
Globerman.
Globerman?
His name's Globerman, bro. Like,
yeah,
bro.
He sounds like a douche canoe.
This shit. So I was in history with this dumb kid, and I'm really good at history. I won back-to-back history awards in middle school.
Okay.
I was in the same class as this kid, and we had to
William
do
the
articles
historian
on, I forget, some war or something.
Except about basketball.
He turns it into the teacher and says, "Oh, I'm done. I did really good." My teacher's like, let me look this up. He pulls up Wikipedia. He's like, yeah, you copied this word for word. Here's an F.
Wow.
That's hilarious,
like,
bro.
Man.
You make it in your own words, and if you don't, and you use that source, it's learned in school. If you
sounds like a Disney villain.
There's a website called Source. There's a Source website, or put it in quotes.
You do that in college. They fail you, and then if they really want to press it, they'll get you expelled.
It sounds like It sounds like Slimer's cousin from like Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
Globberman.
Globberman sounds like the mild-mannered, like non-superhero alter ego of like the shittiest superhero ever.
I was
Can we get a
thinking like
sponsorship? Can we get a sponsorship from Quizlet? Because I got half my college done by using Quizlet. No cap.
All I know, Will. All I know,
I'm
Will, is if you want all of us to pull up on Timothy Globberman, you just say the word.
Hey, Globberman can't.
Dude, no.
He can't.
Can
He
I
can't
bring
hang
up
with
one
us.
last thing
He
about
can't
this
get down with
loser?
that.
Can I bring one last thing up
Blo-
about this guy? James
What's your last
Van
thing?
He's so mad about
I
Globberman still.
lost contact with him.
He's
He
getting
tried
to like
reach
Harlem
me-
Cowboy
Hold on,
level.
hold
That's
on,
how
hold
much
on,
I hate
we'll
this guy.
go ahead, Will.
He tried to reach me on Facebook. I'm like, oh, I work at this college. Just telling him. I go into work a few days ago. I work in a college dining service. My boss calls me to his office. I'm like, yes, sir. He's like, yeah, there's a voicemail guy looking for you. It was the guy.
So he's looking for you.
Why did you tell him where you work, Will?
Oh, no, like,
Give
I
him,
didn't tell him
after the show, send me his Facebook info. Globberman, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna look him up right after we get
I
off the
blocked
show.
his
No, I'm just
ass
kidding.
everywhere.
Scrawled
We're
in
gonna get
blood.
Globberman to be a special guest.
I'm showing up
Scrawled in
like
blood.
this.
Don't steal my homie's
We gotta
shit.
get to the bottom of this mystery. But before we end the show, guys, I gotta
You know
say
my
what
answer.
I gotta say.
You know
I
my
gotta say
answer.
what I gotta say. I
Go
can't.
ahead.
I'm itching right now. I'm about to.
I don't know what you're gonna say. I'm all ears.
No, it's gross. Yeah, it's gross.
So
Can't do that.
Okay, before someone says, "Well, you know, this was an April Fool's joke," I don't even care if it was an April Fool's joke. Whoever is responsible for this should be arrested. What are you smoking? This is completely overdoing it. So you already ruined pizza by putting it on the pineapple, but you have to be a devious, disgusting human being to say, I'm gonna stuff cheese in my crust and put little pineapple chunks in the crust. You are devious. You are a menace to society,
Yeah,
and you should be locked up, solitary confinement for the rest of your life. You psychopath.
Hey,
I
I
don't
have a
thi-
question. Is this
I don't get
this
how that's a
form-
texture thing even would work.
I have a
Pineapple
question.
chunk.
Is this
Will, what's your question?
It's gross.
Is this a known form of communism? It looks like communism.
It's a form
You know,
of
anybody
No, because communism at its root is for the greater good. Even the communists are down with this, and I like pineapple on pizza, but this shit gotta go.
No, that's
No, but I'm with that. But I'm with Tom. Putting it in stuffed crust. Like,
you gotta be a
Anybody-
devious person for this, bro. Like, this person can't be trusted. I don't even care if it's April Fool's joke. Like, this person, whoever is responsible for this, is a danger to society.
Stuffed crust wasn't necessary to start with.
We're giving out
Crust was just-
detentions.
was
We're giving
just
out
like Pizza
detentions.
Hut being like, oh, our pizza kind of sucks now, so here's some more cheese in the crust.
This
And I
guy
ate
gets locked
nothing
up
but
in
pizza
freaking-
for
This guy
10
probably
years.
gets locked up in the deepest prison alive.
Can I say one thing before we get off, James, real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a show for Cage Ragers on Saturday next week. It's just time constraints or whatnot. Friday, actually, sorry, Friday night at 6:15. So anyone that's tuning in that's going to talk about the UFC 273 card, we're going to do it on Friday night at 6:15.
And I got one last thing. Check out Basket Bros, 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Dom Darubis, Jay Nelson, Jacob Christner, and myself.
Shout out to James on the epic thumbnail.
And James
Wait till y'all
for
see
the
it.
epic thumbnail. Send me
You
that,
got, hey, cash at me, $30. Send it to my cash app. You don't work for free.
Hey, whatever it takes.
Okay,
Anyone
guys.
got any
Thank you for having
other
me.
shout outs? Are we done?
Yeah, thanks,
Thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Hey, Tender, we need that sponsorship, baby. Tune in.
Shout out to Tender. I really think that you guys should take my advice and give me the sponsorship so we can move forward.
Yeah, sponsor my
Honestly,
guys.
like-
I'm a married man, but sponsor my guys on here.
Shout
Listen,
out
man,
to all
I've been-
our followers
listen,
and
I've been-
supporters,
I've been
everyone in the
risen up.
comments.
I've been risen
I
it
love
up.
you.
on-
I love
I've been
you,
risen it up
Cassie.
on
Just so
Tinder.
you
I've
know,
been
I
risen it
love
up
you,
on Tinder.
Cassie.
I got an OnlyFans model that matched with me, bro. I discovered her page. I sent her. I slid in. I was like, listen, either you make me your only fan, or I'm taking 80% of the earnings. That's it. You know what it is. You know what it is.
Thank you for
heard what I
having me,
said.
guys.
I said what I said, and I meant it. I hope you guys really enjoyed the show today. We got to get out of here, though. But thank you guys. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you guys next time.